Still on healthcare, look who's here, Grover Norquist. All right, Grover, I've been reading my notes, I've done my homework, and I know that you say healthcare before the tax cut. Get it done. Okay, now, you've got to tell me straight. You're an insider. I want a prediction. Will we go back and get rid of Obamacare in the immediate future? Are we going to do that quickly, as the president said?
I believe we will, and the reason is that the alternatives are awful. And the people who voted no thought they were negotiating, they didn't, and doing something on health care. They didn't understand they were sinking fundamental tax reform if we didn't get health care first. Why? There's $1 trillion per decade in tax reduction in getting rid of Obamacare. Obamacare was a series of 20 taxes adding up to $1 trillion in a decade. They put a stethoscope on it and called it Obamacare. It was an additional $1 trillion in spending. Okay. This is the largest spending and tax cut most of those congressmen will ever vote on in the rest of their lives.
Well, did Speaker Ryan yesterday, he implied that some of the no votes had gone into the yes vote column. Yeah. You're an insider. You know what's going on here. Do they have the votes now to pass the bill that failed on Friday?
It looks like they're coming. You have people who had staked out a no position, having been misinformed about what was at stake. They need to be able to step back and come back to vote yes and be able to articulate why this makes so much sense. There was a lot of misinformation here in Washington, D.C. You talk about the media being dishonest. That didn't help.
Sure. Well, can we do it quickly? I mean, why can't you maybe tweak this thing that failed on Friday? Maybe do that. But why can't you just resubmit it? If you now think you've got the votes, is there some parliamentary procedural meeting? Well, you can't do it? No?
We can do it. As soon as we have 215, because there's some people not there, but normally it's 218, as soon as you have those votes, we can have this vote, and then you proceed very quickly to fundamental tax reform, getting that corporate rate down to 20%, the capital gains down to 16%, getting rid of the AMT and the death tax, going to a territorial system. There is a pot of gold in terms of jobs and wealth and income creation when we pass both health care reform and fundamental tax reform. We have to do them in that order in order to get it done.
And to repeat, Grover Norquist, the guy who knows his way around Washington, he says, yes, it will be done. Correct?
Yes, because the alternative is too awful.
Yes, you got it. Grover, thanks very much for joining us. Very important day, very important time. Thanks for being with us, Grover. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes.